Requests for compassionate release from prison are really skyrocketing right now. According to Bloomberg News, for example, in March and April, federal judges alone, just in federal court, ruled on more than 400 petitions. Compare that to 16 for the same months last year. Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chair, is one of the most high profile to be granted release and sent to home confinement. But who is not being released is really gaining a lot of attention too. Attorney Maya Ragsdale is an attorney at Dream Defenders and joins us with a case of a paraplegic man who has been in jail for 4 years with no trial. Maya, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want you to just start by telling us a little bit about your client, Anthony Swain, and why was he denied compassionate release?
Sure. So my client, Anthony Swain, is a 43-year-old Black man. He's been incarcerated for 4 years without a trial, and he has a $640,000 bond on a drug offense. He has cystic myomalacia, which is basically a softening of his spinal cord, and he's paralyzed from his waist down. On Mother's Day, which was, a couple of weeks ago, he tested positive for coronavirus after being rushed to the hospital because he was unable to breathe. And now they've taken him back to the jail. He's in a cell that is full of other people with coronavirus where he's continually exposed to the virus over and over again. The reason why he remains incarcerated is because he has an unaffordable bond. His parents have done everything that they can. They've, put up their property. They've done everything that they can in order to try to raise the money that they need to get him out, but they simply can't afford it. And his state court judge has repeatedly denied his release motion. So he just continues to sit in these kinds of conditions, waiting for trial without any kind of relief.
You wrote an article in part with someone else for Newsweek that really touched a nerve with not only the criminal justice reform advocates, but also a lot of conservatives. And you're not upset that someone like Paul Manafort was released. What are you the most concerned about?
I think that the argument that Paul Manafort's lawyer made, which is that the spread of the disease was inevitable in prison, given the kinds of conditions that exist inside of these very confined quarters where there's no ability to social distance. I think those arguments are correct. They're the exact same arguments that we made in our lawsuit when we filed it against Miami-Dade Department of Corrections. At that time, there were 0 cases. Now there are 500. What we're asking for, and what so many people across the country are asking for, is the same treatment for people who are poor, people who can't afford their bond, people who, simply are not well connected and powerful in the same way that Paul Manafort is. And so, we are asking for people to be released in light of this fatal disease. And we're asking for the same kind of compassion that is afforded to somebody like Manafort to be afforded to somebody like my client, Mr. Swain, and the numerous other people who remain incarcerated in jails and prisons across the country.
It's really interesting. I've obviously been following it because it came across my feed, and I'm fascinated by just the fact that in a couple of days, 624 people, and I'm looking at it right now, giving $5 and $10, trying to just give him a fair shot. Not, it's just to get him out, and then he will still go to trial at some point. We have 30 seconds. What did Anthony say when you told him that, almost $32,000 had been raised to try to get him out?
He was absolutely shocked. He told me, actually, the first thing he told me when I called him was that he had seen that a guard had come up to him and told him that they had seen him on Twitter, and he thought that the guard was kidding with him. And then when he found out that there was this whole Twitter thread that was dedicated to him, that there were so many hundreds of people who had donated to this cause, he was just so unbelievably grateful. And wanted to thank everybody who had already given donations. And, he was just astounded by the amount of support that he's received because, without this lawsuit and without this light being shined on his case, he's been sitting there for 4 years. So I think it feels like a miracle for him.
Maya Ragsdale with Dream Defenders, thank you for sharing part of the story and what's going on in our country. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, right?